What is up, everybody? Welcome to AK Plays. I'm AK. Let's play. Alright, today I'm going to be going over the top 5 solo builds to use in the DZ. There's a little bit I was going back and forth on, but for the most part I would say that these are my top 5. There's a couple of honorable mentions that I'll mention at the end before number 1, but they were definitely close. It was a really hard list to make, but I'm going to jump right in to number 5. Number 5, I'm saying hybrid/hexo build. The clip here, yes, it is a hybrid. It's a hybrid D3 with Banshee, which I put a build video out for, and it's actually really fun to use. But aside from that, I'm putting hybrid and hexo together in this category because, yes, I know they're very different. There's a ton of build diversity in hybrids and hexos, but they all go for the same purpose of high damage and strong heals. I mean, yes, there's some diversity where people put stamina in there, but for the most part, you're trying to hit hard and have good healing. And I think that's the best way to run a hexo or a hybrid, is to have those two, whether it's tactician hybrids or whether it has banshees and preds or this one with a D3. It's very interesting with a lot of different things that can happen with it. However, I think that it hits hard enough that you can get rid of a lot of people while solo and not let them pile up and kill you. And at the same time, it has enough healing that you don't need to worry about running out of heals. But on to number 4. Number 4, I say, is Alpha Bridge. And Alpha Bridge is really good, but a lot of people refer to Alpha Bridge as the classified hexo, which I kind of agree with. The Alpha Bridge build is like a hexo, but on steroids. It's got higher base stats than the hexo, so it's going to hit just as hard, and it's got a lot of gear set bonuses that are going to make it hit harder, and it's going to have, if you're running the 6-piece, the possibility of hitting a mini recovery link, which will give you healing. And the heal from the mini recovery link is very strong, along with the base damage that you're going to get from the higher stats and from the gear set. This is going to also have the ability to kill people before they can pile up and get you, and it's going to have the heals to be able to keep you alive if you're getting the correct signature skills. It's a very good build, and it's got a lot of diversity because it's all weapon damage, so you can run it with SMGs or ARs or shotguns, which makes it a very strong build, all of that combined. But we're going on to number 3, and number 3 is Banshee. Now, Banshee is an extremely strong build because it has unrivaled DPS. Obviously, there's other builds that hit harder, like Lone Star and Deadeye, but this build has bonuses that are very open, allowing you to use other weapons because it's out of cover damage. You're able to use SMGs, ARs, shotguns, snipers, really whatever you'd like, and it has bonuses whether you're rogue or fighting against rogues, which is very nice as a solo. You're going to get to have your damage bonus if you're fighting rogues, and if you're going rogue, you get a resistance bonus, which is awesome. I mean, Banshee has the ability to hit extremely hard, and it has pretty good survivability because it has bonuses that give you a lot of damage. It doesn't need a ton of healing. I mean, of course, heals are required for any build, but this build allows you to not have to run a ton of firearms to be successful, and that makes it a great build. But on to number 2, we have Nomad, which I have no footage of because I haven't put out a Nomad build yet. So I'm going to be working on a Nomad build this week, but the reason it's great is because they didn't touch Nomad in the update in solo play. So you can still have a bunch of lives, healing over time, and if you're running high firearms, great damage, which makes Nomad an unbelievably well-rounded build that I think is very effective in the DZ. On to our honorable mentions. So these are builds that just didn't quite make it, but I'm really sad that they didn't. The first one is Lone Star. Lone Star is, I think, the strongest DPS build out there, and I love it. It is literally my second favorite build, but I can put it on this list because it doesn't have the healing necessary to be successful. It does a ton of damage, and you'll be able to burn right through people, and people won't be able to pile up at all because you'll turn them to dust. But eventually you're going to run out of medkits, eventually your heals aren't going to come back because your skill haste isn't quite as crazy as a lot of other builds, and the gear set bonuses aren't going to help keep you alive. Plus, the poor thing about it is the gear set bonuses only work for shotguns and LMGs. If you're not good with those weapon types, you're kind of pigeonholed. The other one is Deadeye. Deadeye is the hardest hitting build in the game, no questions asked. But it's a sniper build. You're locked in with a sniper rifle. People can get up on you if you miss your shots. And if you get shot basically at all, you have no stamina at all. And if you're running reckless, the reckless chest piece, not your gameplay being reckless, but that too. Either way, if you get shot at, you're going to be pretty much dead. With that low survivability, Deadeye couldn't make the list either. But on to our number one pick, which is, to nobody's surprise, Striker. And Striker is an unbelievably good build. It's I'm saying it's the number one solo build for the DZ, and I think there's no contest. It hits very hard. With 100 stacks, you're going to be able to melt through players. And with all of the Strikers, I'm not going to specify which kind of Striker is number one, because I think virtually any Striker build is going to be the best for the DZ running solo. You're going to have a good amount of healing, and that's probably the best thing for being a solo, is to be able to heal yourself and stay alive through many fights. So your Striker with 100 stacks is going to be able to hit hard and heal you. Plus, you're going to have a good amount of toughness because of that healing over time. It kind of makes you feel tankier to other players than you probably really are. However, it is very stack dependent, and that's the one downside to Striker, is without stacks, you're not a very strong build. Once you have stacks, you're the strongest build in the DZ. And in the hands of a great player, Striker is an unbelievably unstoppable machine. In the hands of an average player, it is still the best solo build in the DZ once you learn how to use it and you have your accuracy pretty on point. Either way, that's my list. I say that these are the top 5 builds for the DZ when you're running solo. These are not the best 5 if you're running in a group setting, because there's a ton of support builds and more that goes into that. But I'm going to probably put out that list at some point. Either way, these are the top 5 builds solo for the DZ. I hope you enjoyed, and if you have any questions or you think I missed a build, please put it in the comment section.